Hey third graders, it's Ms.L, and I'm going to show you some ways that we can draw graffiti letters. I wrote here 3 different types that we're going to go over. One of them is a block 3D style, one of them has overlapping parts, and one has arrows. You can also look at the examples that I provide in the lesson to get inspired with different embellishments and styles that you can add. So first we're going to start with a word. I'm going to use a short word so that I can show you each example more quickly. You can use your name or a word. It needs to be appropriate, of course. So I'm going to choose the word art. And I'm going to start by drawing very lightly. We don't want to press down hard because this project involves a lot of erasing. Now for your project, you can make this as large as the paper. I'm just showing you smaller to save time. So I start by writing the word in big letters, and I'm just using regular handwriting. I'm not making them bubble letters yet because these letters are going to help me make my bubble letters. In fact, this is the same as what we did in the Keith Haring project, where we drew a stick figure person and then drew a bubble around them. So now I'm drawing my bubble around them. You know what I just realized? For this example, I actually want the letters to be a little farther apart because this is not my overlapping example. So let's spread those out. Okay. Good, and I'm going to make the little hole in the A there. And now I'm going to erase the regular letter inside. Cool, and now we have a block letter A. Okay. Starting with the R. Excuse me that it's a little bit hard to erase well with one hand because I'm holding my camera phone with the other hand. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to make them look 3D. 3D means three-dimensional, as if it were something like an object in real life. For example, two-dimensional or 2D only goes in 2 directions, up and down and sideways, right? Like a circle is 2-dimensional. But if you have an actual ball in your hand, a sphere, that's 3D. It goes up and down, sideways, and out toward you, right? It takes up real space. So that's what 3D means. And we're gonna make it look 3D. So from each corner of the object, I'm going to draw lines, and they're gonna go all in the same direction. So I'm choosing diagonal, so they're gonna continue going diagonal. They're parallel to each other. That means that they don't touch. I'm actually gonna shorten it a little bit. Okay, so there's a line there, that corner. And then any line that ends the letter needs to go in the same direction. This is a little bit like a perspective lesson. Okay. We haven't gone over perspective, but this is a simplified version of it. And now, anytime I end the shape, it needs to go in the same direction as that part of the letter. So this part's going vertical because this is vertical. This part's diagonal, so this is diagonal. This part's curved because that part's curved. If you have trouble figuring out which direction the lines should be, you can always shoot me an email and ask me and show me what kind of letter you want to make, and I can draw up a little example for you to follow. Or you can call me during my office hours and then maybe we can FaceTime and I can show you that way also. I'd be happy to do that. Okay, cool. So that's how you would make it look 3D, and I would take more time to carefully erase the inside so they don't look messy. Now, if we want to overlap, again, we're going to start with writing the word out regularly. I'm going to make the letters pretty close to each other this time. Okay, so now I'm going to start going around again with my bubble. You can make it have corners and be blocky like this one was, or it can be more round the way we did with the Keith Haring figures. I'm going to make this one round to show you something different. It kind of overlapped onto the R. That's okay. We're not going to worry about that for now. We want these letters to kind of get in each other's way. That's how we're going to create our overlapping effect. Okay. Now the R, when we create this bubble, it's going to be behind the A. So I start coming out from the A. I won't have to even draw the whole bubble because it goes behind it. And then don't forget the inside of your R. Okay. Now the T, we're almost done. Okay, so there we have two types of letters. We have our blocky letters with the 3D sides. We have bubble letters that are overlapping. And now we're gonna do one with arrows. You know, this time I think I'm going to maybe do some lowercase letters to show you a different look. I'm gonna make my bubbles going around it again. Okay, so now I'm gonna choose some parts of these letters to turn into arrows. Let's see, I think this T would look cool with an arrow at the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a triangle to the top and erase where it connects. So now this part looks like an arrow. We could do the same here with the end of the R, and this arrow could even overlap a little bit onto the T. And again, erase where it connects. You know what? That A with the arrow ended up looking like a Q, so I'm gonna change that. See, we all make mistakes. That's okay. We figure things out. That's kind of the fun of art, is you can experiment and try things. And that's why we always have to draw lightly in case we change your mind. Cool, so I think what I wanna do now to make all these letters look more connected is I'm going to have an arrow, a big arrow, as an underline. So I'm gonna make this underline kind of go under the letters a little bit. And have the arrow over here. And what I like about making the arrow go that way is now I have arrows going in different directions. So that makes it a little more interesting too, instead of having them all in the same direction, but that's a personal choice, okay? So here we have our arrows example, bubbles that overlap, and block letters. And you can also combine these different styles together. You don't have to just do one. If you look at our graffiti examples in the lesson, a lot of these incorporate a lot of different techniques together. You can also add embellishments. Embellishments means extra decoration. So like maybe I would add over here something that looks kind of like a sparkle. That would be an embellishment.